I remember having a conversation with my mom at one point. We're dealing with dispensaries, weed weed issues. This was weed was still illegal at the local level, and I'm involved in addressing some of, um, I guess, more on the retail level.
Mm-hmm.
And a neighbor of my parents actually was growing and involved Steve McWilliams. Um, and he was on the forefront in San Diego of trying to push legalization. He was a true believer. Okay. And I remember having a conversation with my mom. I said, "You have no idea when you're standing in the grocery store with the person in front of you, the person behind you. They can seem like regular people and nice people, but you have no idea what people can be like until you actually experience it from our level. And you see through working, targeting people for days, weeks, and months at a time, how their life is, and you're following them around and you're seeing, you know, their day-to-day interaction, and they're mixing with public and everything else,
Yeah.
and people have no idea, hey, this guy is a complete shitbag criminal, you know
Yeah.
no regard for anything or anybody. And this guy, Steve McWilliams, walked by the sidewalk. He's walking his dogs, lived probably 3 blocks away from my mom. And I looked at her and I said, that guy's my target. And she looked at me and she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I ended up hooking that guy, and eventually, and um, it was a politically charged case, and he spent a short amount of time, got bailed out, but Steve had to piss test while he was out on federal probation, and he ended up killing himself because he couldn't smoke weed.
Hmm.
That's how much of a true believer he was.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you do you think yourself right now as jaded?
No, realistic.
It's interesting. I've had a couple people say that exact thing. Not jaded, just realistic about how things really are.
In a nutshell, what the general public doesn't know, to them, doesn't exist.
Right.
It does not exist. Reality is based on fact, and we know the factual basis behind law enforcement.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does jade you, because you have to remember something. You're around bad people all the time. So you're always impacted by the negative side of society, because everybody you're dealing with is a bad person.